Hi, welcome to the channel. My name is Pete, and on this episode we are continuing on with the railway line. This is from Foggathorpe to Highfield railway station. We didn't quite make it to Highfield. We'll get there in this episode. Let's get straight to it. I hope you enjoy it. I've just come off the track slightly because we now come to our second drain of three. This one's called Ings Drain, I-N-G-S, Ings Drain. It looks original, looks intact to an extent, and I'll show you the other side as well. There you go, hope you can see that. We've got our brickwork across here. I'm going to put you out a bit there so you can see the fascia. We've got a brick arch. Remember how old this railway line is. I'll turn it off and we'll go and have a look at the other one because we can see that a bit clearer. This is what it looks like at the other side. Ings Drain goes all the way around the fields. These lands would absolutely flood without these drains. They are vital for this farmland. And if anybody knows Derwent Bridge, the River Derwent, which is over that way, you'll see how much that floods all the way up around the M62. Now, this drain comes here under the railway line, and this is the other side. This is what we can see. I can't get down there, it's too slippy, it's too dangerous, and it's about 10 feet from where I am. And then the bottom of that is probably boggy for about another 6 inches. I just won't get down safely. We can see that starting to crumble and fall away, but it's a shame I can't get down there. I might come back in summer and go through it. Let me know what you think. Because I could fit through there. If I could get down there, I could go through it in some wellies. If you want to see that, let me know. We'll make a short video on it. But yeah, the brickwork under there looks brilliant, while the fascia just is collapsing a bit. They're not going to last forever, so it would be nice to maybe go through. We'll continue down the railway line. We've got another drain to come to, and then we've got a station. There might be some farmers' crossings. Unaware of those at the moment, but they don't mark those on maps. So we'll see what else we come across. Just before we leave Ings Drain, there's a couple of things worth mentioning here. I'll turn the camera around. Just before we leave our Ings Drain, it's worth mentioning there's a rotten gate on the floor there. There are gates there, but we cannot find any original gate posts. It's highly likely that it was, because there's a natural end to the fields with the drains. And the same at this side. But we can't find any evidence of that other than this rotten gate on the floor here. Gate's been there, but no original ones. But it's also worth mentioning, while we're here, my brother's found a sleeper tucked away in the undergrowth that has clearly been there for a long time, trapped behind these here. Through there you can see where your chairs went into it. It's rotten away at the other side. But could that have been to do with our railway? Or was that maybe bought up here for a later date to be used as a gatepost of where we've just been discussing? It would be nice to think it was part of the railway. Let's pretend it was. Right, let's get down here. We are now at the last drain before Highfield railway station. I'll get it into view. You can see it behind me there. This is called New Moorlands Drain. Now, without these drains, these lands would be flooded. They'd be useless. It'd be marshland. And we're going to see more evidence of how strong that flooding can be later down the line. Now, this drain is really quite spectacular, and I would love to actually go through this one. So I think I might, during the summer, come back down here to go through both these drains and show you the brickwork inside, because we haven't seen a drain going under the railway or a river going under the railway with brickwork this fancy since we were at just before Southburn railway station. If you haven't seen that episode, go back. This isn't quite as spectacular as that, but you've got to remember these lines were built. This line here was built or opened in 1848, so it was being built for a couple of years before that. And they've had to come up here and haul all these bricks up here and do this ornate work for something hardly everybody's going to ever bother with. It's unnecessary work. But that was the Victorians for you. They wanted to be opulent and show their wealth. And doing that was doing pointless things like this. I'll turn the camera around and show you this side, and we'll go to the other side as well, because it's quite an unusual shape, this drain. And here we are. We've got 3 course of brick on this angle here. Now you're not going to be able to see it as well as me, and I can't get down there to show you because it is just, I mean, that's about 12 feet deep down there. But in summer, if you want me to, I'll come back and I'll walk through these and we'll have a look at the brickwork inside as well. But there you go. You can see your fancy 3 course there, and you've got 3 course line in the top. And then across the top here we've got copings of sandstone. That will have matched. That will have had copings on there as well. And this still has got copings on here. Sandstone. Now I'll show you down that drain from the top. It's a bit crooked, but it comes directly under where I am here. All that fancy brickwork, and this has now got motor vehicles running over it as well, and it's still functioning. It's not been dug out and it's not been replaced. It is not going to be here forever. Comes out here and then it bends straight round and goes off that way. We can see there's some modern plastics in there that are draining from the fields over there. But I can't get much better angle than what I've got now of this one. But we've got a run out. We've got the copings going up there. We've got copings across here and copings down here, all sandstone. That one again has got the 3 course of brick, the fancy brickwork. I'll put some photographs up at the end. But I would definitely walk through these if you encouraged me. But it'll be during summer, because there's no way I'm getting down there safely in winter without slipping and falling into that. And I have to be careful. I'll bring a stick, see how deep that mud is. During summer it'll be less moist. Next stop I think is the station, unless we've got any farmers crossings. There was probably one here, but there's no evidence of that. But we'll continue on down the line. That way is back to Foggathorpe, and we're following the clues again, because we've got our big hedgerow here and then suddenly it drops off. Why? Well, we can sort of figure it out. Because we've got a fence post, or a gate post even. In here. Now that's there. Now what we've got down here is some ironwork in there. That is a tensioning post. So that is far too close to this for that to even be a gateway for even a horse and cart. So we suspect this big open land here would have been a roadway or an access field. That gate post there would have had a corresponding one here, which means we then need to look over the other side. Directly opposite, we've got nothing. I want you to ignore these modern things. That is for modern traffic. That is to stop people driving up here, basically. But we can see a gateway over there. We've got an oblique crossing, so we're going across at an angle. And what have we got? We have got an original gate post still in situ. So that does support our theory of being an oblique crossing. Whilst it's got a gate hanging on it, it's clearly been here for a long time and not used for many years. This is the hanger side. The other side does not have an original gate post on it. It was most likely about here, because this is widened for more modern crossings. And then view back over there, it's next to the telegraph pole, so you can see this would have been our oblique crossing. We'll get down here, we're almost at the station. A little bit further down we've got a farmer's crossing. Behind me you can see that gate. There's nothing original there. But on the opposite side we have got this post with the hangers on. And then we've got this post here as well, there, which is slightly more rotten. There's nothing on that. We're going to continue on down the line. I'll put some pictures of these up. We've made it to the disused Highfield railway station. I've had a walk around with our kid. We've worked out a filming plan and we're going to go around and show you what remains today. There are a couple of pieces that we've seen that we don't know what they are, if they're railway related or not. So I'll point them out to you and I'd like you to let me know what they are if you're able to tell me. So this is the edge of our platform. This is what remains. And in the distance there you can see a shed which has nothing to do with the railway to the left there. And then you can see the railway building, the station master's house. Again, look at the chimney. It's got that typical shape for the same architect all along this line. Now it's in very poor condition, it's very overgrown, but it still remains. And we can see some of the edging here a little bit better. We can see it's got a nice flat face, we've got rounded copings, and it's more than likely had a shale or gravel top at some point. Now the booking office was opposite the station house on the platform at this side, which has long since gone. There are some little bits of concrete posts on the platform that were once lamp posts and what held the sign for the station. Now this station opened in 1859. This building has had some modifications on it since. There's been a window at the top left there that you can see, bricked up, and then windows all that would face out onto the platform being bricked up. Now this never had facing platforms. This side is really strange, I don't know why, but the platform was never built here. They built one at this side with a booking office there. This station first appeared on timetables in January of 1859, and it was the North Eastern Railway that opened this station. Now they've got some memorabilia there of GWR which had nothing to do with this railway company. The date this place closed was on the 20th of the 9th 1954 to passengers. I'll just show you this here. This one here was a lamp post, and I know that because we've got a step up at the bottom of there which is a bit worn away and broken, but that's what that one was. It was the North Eastern Railway that opened this, and it closed under British Railways North Eastern region. Now we've got the name board here. The board is not there because it's long gone. They were made of wood, which is here and here, and then next to there we've got a broken off post which would have contained a light at the top. And this is where the booking office was, in this area here. I've got some photos to match up where it was in dereliction with some of these photos. Now we've got an original gate post there that would have given you access to the station master's house and yard. And our other platform is opposite this one on the other side of the road. So we'll get there next. That's where we've just come from, and there's the station master's house. We've got an original gate post there that I pointed out to you. This is where the crossing was, here, with the crossing gates. In there is an original post, but it's so deep it's difficult to get to. I have dug myself in, and it is a concrete one. There is another concrete one here, but this was the goods yard. But this was the access from the road. The rail access was from the other side. Now our platform and booking office was here, opposite the station, and then when we come to this side, this is our platform, vastly overgrown. We've got our name board up here. You can see the little shelving bits there where it used to sit, and we've still got the metal work in at the top where it's either been ripped off or rotted away. Now there was no platform at this side, but for some strange reason we've got a gated access there with these posts, and I don't know why. Now at that side there was cattle dock and coal yard, but we'll come back to that because the access to that coal yard for the trains, for the locomotives, was way up there. So we're going to look at this platform first of all. As you can see, it is incredibly overgrown. There's not a lot to see at the moment, and we've been up here scouting to see if there is any concrete left on the top, like any further name board brackets or potential lighting, which I did think we saw a broken one, but it's just trying to re-find it again. Now the platform's clearing off a little bit, so we can concentrate on this now. Again, lovely facing brick, excellent condition, copings on the top, and more than likely a gravel or shale top behind there. Just look at that, absolutely amazing. I don't know why these parishes are not getting together, clearing these off, making some features of it, and really taking in pride in some history here. There are one or two fence posts. Over the back there is another platform, but we'll come back to that. I want to show you the passenger platform first. They are huge. I don't understand why they are so long. We're going to go in here now, because what I want to show you is this concrete post here. It's had a tree growing up against it, so it's shattered it, bent it, and then it's just gone. We've got a little footstep there, so we know that this one was for lighting. I don't know what the remains of these wood are, whether they're railway related or if somebody's just dumped it, or a collapsed fence. Through the back we've got our other platform, which we're going to come back to. But they are so long, and when I get to the end I'll point you back towards the crossing. There isn't much left in the way of name boards, brackets or lamp posts, but this is now the end of our platform, our slope down. It's all complete, it's all there. And then down to the ground there. I'm going to turn round, cross over to the other side, look back towards the gate. We can see how long that platform really is. I mean, it is just huge. Longer than probably Driffield train stations, railway station. Now, there was that platform there for passengers, and then at the other side there's another platform for goods, and then coal drops. But we didn't access it this way. The way the railways were accessing that were coming from Selby up here. So there were some points up there, and that's where we're going to pick up next. Just before we get to where the points were, I did ask you for some help. There's 3 things here that I need identifying. I don't know what they are. Don't know if they're to do with the railway or not, but they're pretty old. I'll turn the camera around, maybe you can identify them for me. It's these cubes, they're concrete. There's my foot for scale. I'm a size 10 in these, 10 or 11. On the back, we've got this metal work here, but as you can see there's a little groove there. Now that's stuck into the ground, and same with that one there, it won't shift. But there's another one, there's a third one, and it's here and it's on its side, so you can see how big they are. Again, that's my foot for scale. So they're fairly big, and that's got the metal work on it and the groove again. So if you know what they are, please drop me a comment, let me know. Are they railway related, or are they from some other industry that one of you lot have worked in? let's get up to those points and we'll walk down to the goods platforms and we'll match up some photographs with the old station. Now behind me you'll see a fence there. Oh, I can't do it backwards. But that is where Highfield station is. We are stood roughly where some points were. I'll put a map up here. That would lead us off. This is coming from Selby direction into the station, the goods yard and the coal drops. I will walk you down because we've got our boundary posts there, and then on this side we are starting to get wider. Bearing in mind 2 lines will have gone straight through the station and another 2 lines will have been diverging off here. I'm not going to walk through all that because it's a bit overgrown and we've actually got a walker's footpath there. This does not follow the railway, so don't think it does, because that will have gone through there. This is too much of an acute angle, unless you're on a tiny train. Now you can see here the land is starting to rise up, because that would take you towards where the coal drops were. And I've been on this embankment here and had a little scuff around with my feet to see what I could see. So we're going to come back to these coal drops shortly, but I'm going to show you what's up here. So this is what is the remains of the embankment, land erosion. But I'll show you to the ground. We've got obvious clinker there. Bit of clinker, bit of coal. Lots of unburnt small amounts of coal coming down there. That would have been going off that way, because there was 2 lines coming in. One went through here, and this is really quite special what we have here. Coal line going off that way. We're going to go through here and then back onto the coal line. But first of all, we've got some steps. Hope you can see those there. Yeah, and now you've got the reveal of the platform. There was a line here. It was only short. This is a short platform. And this would have probably been for goods and cattle, this one. I can't get through all that lot. There's not a lot else to see anyway. You can see it gets overgrown quite rapidly. But there's your platform, and there were your steps up to the back of the platform. So let's get through here again. This is our coal embankment going up there. Nice and long, gradual, because you know how big these coal drops can be. Now we can get onto the platform here. So this is where our goods platform was. They fenced it off so that you don't fall down there, and someone's put a picnic bench up. It's a shame all this lot is not cleared off and made a real feature of. But there's a natural slope in the land here. That's, I say natural, it's man-made. This is more than likely where wagons will have been backing up and coming through the coal yard, and you can see the station master's house there. But this platform's only short, and it does slope down and ends somewhere about there. But there's not a lot to see, and we can't get in there. I've showed you everything that I can see up there. Coming back this way. There's our bench, there's our goods platform. This is what remains of the embankment up onto the coal drops, which I can't see. But this is all very low. I would like somebody to confirm me if there's anything in there. To me, I think it's all been demolished, or at least knocked down fairly short. These are not high enough for coal drops for any wagons. This bit is getting higher up here, so maybe there's more stud there. But you've got to pull out all that to try and find anything. But what we have got the back of the coal drops. We've got the last one. this would have all been the goods yard, where wagons would have been pulling in, originally horse and carts. But thankfully, right at the end here, we've got some brickwork in here, and we've got some brickwork in here supporting that this is where the coal drops once were. Aside from the maps, we've got the actual hard evidence as well. They've been taken down. These would have been 6 or 7 feet tall, but we've got our brickwork there. With the backdrop of Highfield Railway Station Master's house, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please subscribe to the channel, it really does helps get these videos far and wide, and it also lets me know that you're enjoying them. So in the next episode we are going to go from Highfield to Bubworth Station, and then hopefully onto a railway bridge that crosses the River Derwent. In the meantime, please take care.